Now at 5, how a Southeast Kansas business owner is dealing with changes to the state's food tax. Plus, local health officials report a rise in respiratory illnesses such as COVID and the flu. And tensions in the Middle East are reaching a boiling point after a pair of deadly attacks in the new year.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Kansas Governor Laura Kelly's Axe the Food Tax plan advances to the next phase, lowering food tax from 4% to 2%. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. A year ago, the first phase of the plan reduced the food sales tax from 6% to 4%. It also classified what is unprepared food, which caused confusion among some businesses. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has been following the story and has the latest.
A year ago, I spoke with Circles Pecan and Country Store in McCoon about their confusion with the classification of unprepared food. Today, I spoke with them to see how they adjusted as the tax drops again. The owner, Tom Circle, said after the growing pains of figuring out what is considered unprepared food and implementing the sales tax, it's been smooth sailing.
Once we got everything, all the bugs worked out and figured out what was qualifiable and what was not, everything went relatively easily. It sure would have been a lot nicer to have a little more support from Department of Revenue, but we got it all figured out.
The food sales tax is set to be eliminated altogether in January of next year. Dow, back to you.
Amber Jenkins, thanks. COVID cases and respiratory illnesses are on the rise all across the country and right here in the 4 states. Newton County health officials say cases have increased in the area, possibly due to holiday gatherings. Health officials at Mercy Hospital have also reported an increase in COVID cases and influenza cases. Officials say symptoms are not as severe as they were when the viruses began, but people should still take precautions.
We're starting to see the return of a loss of sense of smell and taste. And so that's, it was at the beginning, and now that symptom is kind of coming back. So, but luckily, still fairly mild symptoms that usually last about 3 to 5 days. Usually by day 5, you're much better, and by day 6, you're kind of back to your normal activities.
According to the CDC, COVID hospitalizations have not been this high since January of 2023. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
All right, it turned out to be another nice day for us today. Quite a bit of sunshine. Temperature is pretty good. Most of us upper 40s to near 50, a smidge above where we should be for this time of the year. Looks good. Joplin 44. In Pittsburgh, we are dry. We're going to stay dry as we go through the evening hours. Our temperature is pretty close to where they should be for this time of the year. But we're tracking this storm system, Utah, Nevada, down through Arizona. A moderate storm system, which is going to head toward us by tomorrow night and into Friday. Now, until then, we look pretty good, pretty much clear skies. Another frosty start for you in the morning hours. Thursday overall looks nice. Snow moves in by Friday morning, a much bigger storm system early next week. We're going to talk about it all coming up here in just a bit.
See you soon. Fire crews in Jasper County last night responded to a house fire on County Road 105 north of Gum Road near Carthage. Neighbors report significant damage to the home, but everyone inside did make it out safely. Authorities say utilities were cut while fighting the blaze, so the family has been displaced. Congress is set to get back to work next week, and a bill to strengthen the country's southern border is atop the agenda. Today, a group of House Republicans, led by their new speaker, toured the border at Eagle Pass, Texas. It comes as an all-time record of monthly border crossings peaked in December. Border officials say agents were spread so thin they could guard only 4 miles of border in the area around Eagle Pass, leaving more than 90% unpatrolled. Tensions are rising in the Middle East following a pair of deadly attacks over the past 2 days. One attack happened in Iran, the other in Lebanon. Ian Lee has the latest now from Tel Aviv.
The death toll in Iran is rising after 2 explosions rang out during a ceremony marking the 4th anniversary of a key general's assassination by the U.S. Satellite images show thousands had gathered to remember Qasem Soleimani when the attack happened. Iranian state television says more than 100 people were killed and over 200 injured. So far, no one has claimed responsibility, and there's no indication of any involvement of a foreign state, including Israel. The U.S. is condemning the attack.
The United States was not involved in any way, and any suggestion to the contrary is ridiculous. We have no reason to believe that Israel was involved in this explosion.
On Tuesday, a drone strike in Beirut killed Hamas senior leader Saleh al-Aruri and 5 others. Israel isn't commenting on the attack. El-Aruri is the first senior Hamas political leader to be killed since the war between Hamas and Israel started in October. This son of one of the Israeli hostages being held by Hamas since October 7th says he's concerned El-Aruri's killing will increase the danger of those being held captive.
His killing is definitely not helping, because the first thing that happened after his killing is Hamas said we're stopping all negotiation. All of the signs are showing Israel is not for hostage negotiation.
The assassination in Lebanon is sparking new concerns that the conflict between Israel and Hamas may be expanding, and many fear it could engulf the Middle East. Ian Lee, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Investigators in Japan are dealing with the fallout from 2 major disasters. Officials are investigating how 2 planes collided at an airport in Tokyo, including one bringing aid to victims of a New Year's Day earthquake which killed dozens of people. There are conflicting reports about whether air traffic controllers instructed the smaller Coast Guard plane to hold short of the runway or taxi out. Still ahead, bringing back an American staple.
It's an American classic, the soda fountain. I'm Michael George with the history of these iconic businesses and where you can still find them serving up delicious treats today.
And next in Health Watch, scientists say they've developed a new antibiotic that targets drug-resistant bacteria. Topping today's Health Watch, a major development in the treatment of a drug-resistant bacteria. The CDC says the bacteria known as crab can cause serious infections in the lungs, urinary tract, and blood. It thrives in medical environments and is resistant to most current antibiotics. But researchers from Harvard University and the Swiss healthcare company Hoffmann-La Roche developed a new type of antibiotic that can kill that bacteria. The unique method prevents movement of large molecules to the cell's outer membrane, eventually leading to its death. A new study finds infants born extremely prematurely can get much needed enrichment from either breast milk or cow's milk. Now, historically, there have been concerns that cow's milk could cause complications for babies born before 28 weeks of pregnancy, but Swedish scientists found no significant difference between the two. And problem-solving skills, training for parents of children with chronic health conditions, improves the well-being of the entire family. A study published in JAMA Pediatrics found that training improves the quality of life while also lowering parental depression, pediatric mental problems, and leading to less parent-child conflict. The training teaches ways to properly address and work through a problem. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our Pet Vet on Call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about whether or not snakes hibernate.
Plus, we have 2 big storm systems we are tracking. We're going to be looking at those coming up next. Well, of course, another cold, frosty start for us today, but sunny skies and temperatures pretty good. Most of us upper 40s to near 50 degrees. It looks good right now. Here's a nice shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo, just southwest of Seneca, Missouri. Looks like a pretty good evening, but of course we're going to have another cold night out there for us tonight. Another frosty start for us tomorrow. If you are going to be out this evening, we're going to drop back through the 30s into the 20s again. Pretty much clear skies. The winds are light, so not bad across the area. You can see clear skies for us right now. There may be a little bit of patchy fog that tries to get going, especially southeastern Kansas later on tonight. One system passing to our south. Not much here in the Central Plains, but here's our next storm system. Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, down toward Phoenix. We'll call this a moderate storm system. You can see the upper level low as it kicks out, even another one right behind it, which will affect us early next week. All right, day planner for you tomorrow, starting at 27, a little bit of patchy fog. I think we'll go to about 46 or so, maybe even a little bit warmer than that, 48-ish across the region, which is not bad. As we go through the morning hours, pretty much clear skies, a little bit of patchy fog, mid-20s. As we go through the day, we warm, near 40 by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, mid to upper 40s. We are going to get some mid and upper level clouds streaming through, but still very similar to what we saw today. Clouds thicken tomorrow night. Let's go into 3 a.m. on Friday morning. These are going to be very light flurries, but snow picking up, a rain-snow mix, northeastern parts of Oklahoma. Notice our temps right around freezing. I think overnight lows 30 to 31. So if we go to 7:30 in the morning, light to moderate snow pushing through, temperatures at freezing. So this means some slushy accumulations on the roadways. We're going to get periods of light to moderate snow through the morning. So here's about the noon hour. Now this band of snow is lifting toward the north. Also temperatures mid-30s. So now we're talking really just kind of a wet snow, and then pretty much gone by the time we get into the afternoon. So once we get into Friday afternoon, we'll warm near 40, and whatever snow accumulations we get will melt off pretty quickly. Friday night, Saturday morning, a few random little tiny showers, a few random little snow showers, but in general, pretty quiet. All right, snowfall potential. Again, this is mainly going to be on the grassy surfaces. Most of us, Pittsburgh, Joplin, Miami, Carthage, and Neosho, anywhere from a dusting, maybe upwards to an inch. Now, once you get from Iola, Chanute, Parsons, Independence, 1 to 2 inches, our far western counties, 2 to 4 inches, that's where it's going to be a little bit thicker. All right, so snowometer, road impacts, pretty minor, but something we're going to keep our eyes on as we go into the daytime hours on Friday. Then we have a bigger system moving in even early next week. We're going to be talking about that a little bit more tonight at 6. 49 for you tomorrow, 42 on Friday, starting with snow, going over to a few showers. Saturday, a few random showers. Sunday, pretty nice. Rain picks up again Monday, going over to snow on Tuesday. Another system late next week. So about every 3 days, we're getting a storm system, which, hey, we're still kind of dry.
Yeah, we need the precipitation. Whether we need snow or not, well, people have differing opinions.
There you go.
Thanks, Doug. Here's a new approach to nailing those New Year's resolutions. Hit the books. Amazon Books editorial director Sarah Gelman and her team put together a list of books to help with productivity, healthy eating, and even housekeeping. Feel Good Productivity emphasizes doing more of what you love and less of what stresses you out. If you're looking to make a big change, The Life Brief by Bonnie Wyan could help you unlock the life you want.
She identifies what she calls the big four. So relationships, work, community, and self. And there are things that you can do in this book, everything from writing your own eulogy, which she says will help you identify what matters to you. And it's usually not what's on your resume right now.
A dirty guide to a clean home will teach you such things as how to fold that dreaded fitted sheet, and Skinny Taste has your meals in 7 ingredients or less. Coming up, the national debt hits a record number in the new year. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the national debt has hit a new record, more than $34 trillion. It's due to a number of factors, including higher borrowing costs due to interest rates and lower tax receipts. The benchmark also comes as federal spending laws are set to expire in the next few weeks. If Congress fails to pass extensions, the government could shut down. Another sign that America's white-hot economy is beginning to cool. The Labor Department reports U.S. job openings fell in November to its lowest number since March of 2021. When seasonally adjusted, 8.79 million jobs were posted. That's down from 8.85 million in October, but in line with what economists predicted. Starting in the 1920s, almost every neighborhood had a corner soda shop. They reached the height of their popularity in the 1940s and 50s, but even decades later, some business owners are keeping the classic American tradition alive. Michael George has more on the legacy of the soda fountain.
At Brooklyn Pharmacy, soda jerk and co-owner Peter Freeman is serving up a little taste of the old days. This is one of just a handful of soda fountains still operating. Soda shops were once an iconic part of American culture, where teens and families would gather for an egg cream or an ice cream sundae.
1930s, there's maybe 125,000 soda fountains. As of today, there's maybe 125.
For Lena Deegan, who's in her 90s, coming here is like stepping into a time machine.
Oh my God, me and my husband, we used to always hang out there.
Here, the sights, sounds, and flavors are just the way people remember. Freeman says the draw is more than desserts.
We make memories here. We make experience here. Soda fountains are incredibly social, and it's one of the real beauties of a soda fountain, is it brings people together.
These businesses faded as new inventions like the bottle cap made it easier to have soda at home. But some say it's time for the corner soda shop to make a comeback.
Brings back a lot of memories.
They've disappeared, and what we lose, not just as Americans, but as humans, is a human connection.
A reminder of how old-fashioned socializing
delicious
can make every day a little bit sweeter. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
Soda fountains originally got their start in pharmacies back in the mid-1800s because people once thought seltzer could cure physical ailments. Starbucks customers can now use their own cups for nearly all orders. The coffee chain has added the reusable cup option to drive-through and app orders. Previously, it was only available for orders made in person. In the drive-through line, customers just have to tell the barista they have their own mug when they order. The cup will then be collected at the pickup window using a contactless vessel. Starbucks says the cups must be clean and less than 40 ounces. Our Pet Vet on Call next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the push to change a national gun law after a teen's tragic death. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on a local business dealing with the changes to the Kansas food tax. Plus, how KDOT is preparing for the possibility of some winter weather next week. And the McDonald County baseball standout signs to continue his career at the college level right here in the 4 states. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Winter isn't for everyone. That goes for animals, too, with some just sleeping through the whole thing. Today's question for our Pet Vet on Call is, do snakes hibernate during the winter?
Sort of. The term is called burmate, and the difference between burmation and hibernation is that the snakes and amphibians are cold-blooded. So unlike the bear that has to get really, really fat before he hibernates, because they have to maintain their metabolism and their body temperature, a snake does not. Their body temperature falls really low, their metabolism gets really, really slow, and they just sleep all winter long. So it's kind of the same thing, but not.
We invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here, KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we have Xena. She's a 1 to 2 year old female shepherd mix. Say she has a high energy level. She loves snuggles and kisses. Snuggles and kisses. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we have this short-haired cat. This is Mikey, a 9-month-old male who loves sneaking around and playing with toys. So if you're looking for a pet, snuggly or sneaky or otherwise, why not check out your local Humane Society? They always have lots and lots of them to choose among.
I think our language is so weird that Xena is Xena.
Yeah, like the Princess Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Strange. All right, cold tonight. We're going to drop back into the mid-20s. 49 tomorrow, not a bad day. And then snow starts to pick up early Friday morning. Another system Monday and Tuesday of next week. We'll talk more about this tonight at 6.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. Let's make it a great evening.